Today, we're going to be doing a first look at how to actually use Antigravity, Google's AI-powered integrated development environment with TestSprite to test real code. This is not theory, not slides, but real workflows. I'm going to show you how to spin up Antigravity, generate a modified code, then immediately run automated tests with TestSprite to see what breaks, what passes, and what edge cases live. If you're building fast and you don't want testing to slow you down, or worse, be skipped entirely, this combo is definitely worth understanding. Okay, let's jump straight into the setup and run the first test. Okay, let's go ahead and jump in. We are in Antigravity, which is Google's AI-powered IDE. If you've used Cursor or any other tool like that, this is going to be super familiar. I really am liking Antigravity so far. I had a really nice UI. It's got some great features, and we're going to do a basic application here today from scratch, and then we're going to test it and make sure that there are not any bugs in our application before we were to push it to production. So we're going to create something super simple here, and here's my prompt. Build a simple app for making posts with images in a Pinterest style layout. So we just want this to be like a waterfall masonry style app that has different posts in a Pinterest style layout with nice imagery. And that's all we're going to put here. And you can actually choose your model here, just like you would in Cursor. So you can do Gemini 3, Gemini 3 Flash, Claude Sonnet 4.5. I'm actually going to switch to Claude Sonnet 4.5. You can also choose planning mode, which is really nice. So if you want to plan out your app first, before actually generating it, I recommend this because it'll ask you some follow-up questions. But we're just going to build a simple app today, so I'm just going to go for fast and have it build this right away. You can also upload and add context, so images, mentions, workflows. You can do all of that in Antigravity. A couple other things before I'm going to go ahead and start this. They do have a browser to test your application, which is super, super nice. Cursor has done this as well recently. This keeps you from having to context switch all the time into other browsers. You have some of your settings here, but you have your agent up and to the right. You can rearrange your windows. And then on the left, you have your typical things. This is a blank folder, so we just have this folder test. We have our GitHub source control and our Git version control. And then we have extensions and applications. We can install different things just like you would with Cursor or any other AI-powered IDE. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and hit this blue button and let this start building our app. And you'll see right here, I'll help you build a beautiful Pinterest style app for making posts with images. Let me create a modern visual studying application with a masonry layout. First, let me check the current directory structure. Of course, there's nothing there, so it's a completely blank app. So it's going to go through, it's going to create this app. We'll give it a couple minutes. We'll come back, we'll test everything out, and we'll see how Antigravity did in building this app. Okay, so that took a couple minutes. Our app is complete. It has built. And we've got the terminal down here, and we're in this folder here, Anti. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to CD masonry board. Okay, so I'm just going to navigate into that folder, and then I'm going to start up my application. So we're going to do npm run dev, and this should start up the application in our localhost 5174. Perfect. So I can go ahead and hit open browser window. And it's actually going to launch the browser here for me, which is really nice. Going to take a second here. Let's let this open. And here we go. Hey, and it's just on the wrong port. So let me go ahead and fix that. It's 5174. I'm just going to copy and paste. Bring this back up. And here we go. All right. And check this out. This is looking really good. Again, this is one shot by Antigravity. I really like the UI. The layout's really nice. We have this nice imagery. We can save. Of course, a lot of this functionality won't be working yet. We don't have a database connected to this or anything. But from a UI front end standpoint, this looks really good. And we're actually going to test the front end with a tool called TestSprite to see, if it passes all the checks. We don't want to be shipping anything to production that is flawed in any way. So we can scroll down. This looks really nice. It's responsive on different screen sizes. So I'm really happy with how this turned out. If I exit out of here, I can go into my folder structure and I can see all the files like you would expect with any AI-powered IDE. So we can see the index file, the app.javascript, the main.javascript, and all the different assets and components as well. So what we're going to do next to go ahead and test our application with a tool called TestSprite is we are going to actually install their MCP. Now, there are a couple steps to get this up and running with Antigravity. I'm actually going to post those steps in the comments below on this video, so check those out. It's super easy to get set up, takes less than 2 minutes. But here is how you access the MCP within Antigravity to make sure everything is configured and set up correctly. So within the agent panel over here on the right, under these 3 dots, additional options, we have this MCP servers. Now, I don't love where this is because it's actually hard to find within Antigravity. Like within cursor settings, it's right there. There's MCP tools. It's a little bit hidden in Antigravity, but if you click on MCP servers, you can see all these MCP servers that they have available directly in Antigravity, but you can also install your own. And that's what we're going to do here under Manage MCP Servers. So we can see that TestSprite is configured and everything is switched on and enabled. In the instructions, there is this raw config file. You have to do one command and you have to put in your API key. I will change my API key prior to publishing this video. But once you have your API key in here in the config file, you should be good to go. And whenever you go to your manage MCPs, you should see that's enabled and everything is switched on. If you run into any errors and it doesn't work correctly, you'll see those errors here. And then you can start to resolve those errors with the agent if you would like, or directly with TestSprite documentation. Okay, so now that we've got this MCP all set up, we can actually use the agent to test our application. And we're going to do some front end testing because we want to see how the front end is functioning and working and seeing if there's any errors. And it should all pass. This is a very simple application. We did this really quick, but what I really want to show you is how you can use TestSprite to test your application, whether it be the front end or the back end. There's one final step here that I want to show you, and that is that you need a PRD file or a product requirements document. You can actually, if you have an existing application, you're building an application, you can use the agent to actually generate this PRD, which is what I did. And it did a really nice job. It talks about my product overview, a masonry board, a Pinterest style visual discovery web application, and so on and so forth. So you can add new posts, an infinite masonry feed, responsive design, user flow, and so on and so forth. So what I've done is I've generated this with the agent because it knows my folder, it knows my file structure, it knows my app structure. And then what I did is I saved it to my computer in a PDF so that I can upload it to TestSprite when the MCP agent for TestSprite starts to test this app. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll go back to the agent here. And now that the MCP is installed, I'm going to actually close out the MCPs. So we're just sort of like in the root of our IDE here. I'm going to say test this app with TestSprite. And that's it. You really probably don't even need to say TestSprite. You can say test this application, but just to be super clear, to make sure the agent understands what to do, I'm going to say with TestSprite. And the agent will understand that the MCP is connected. So I'll help you test this app with TestSprite. Let me first explore the project structure, understand what we're working with. Okay, we can see this is a React Vibration Board application. I noticed there's already a TestSprite test directory, which is set up with the MCP. So that's super cool. And check this out. It actually opens up my browser in TestSprite, and we'll show you their homepage in a little bit more about their product. But this is really cool. So this is our testing configuration. Are we doing front end or back end? We're doing front end. Are we doing code base or code diff? We're doing code base. If you had like a test account info where you needed to log in, you could provide that here to TestSprite so it can log into your application, any specific ports. And then here's what I was talking about, this product specification doc. So we can go ahead and click this, and I have my product requirements doc, which is just what the agent created for us in Antigravity. I'm just going to go ahead and upload this, and then I just hit continue. And this is going to start to work to test my application. So I'll go ahead and hit continue. The page will close automatically. Perfect. And here we go. Over here. Great. TestSprite has confirmed the app is running on local port 5173. Now it's generated code summary for TestSprite to analyze the code base. It's going to scan the code base and generate a code summary. So this is going to take some time. It's got to scan through our entire code base. It's going to check everything. What we'll do is we'll come back in a few minutes, see how this test ran, and we can actually see here over on the left, we can see all these different tests getting set up. So the homepage masonry feed, responsive layout, and so on and so forth. So this is super, super cool. Using Antigravity with TestSprite definitely feels like a superpower. It gives me a lot more confidence being a non-developer that my code going out the door is good and doesn't have errors. So let's give this a few minutes. We'll come back and see how everything looks. All right, so we're back. That just took a few minutes. And I have done some other tests with other applications in the past because I've used TestSprite for other applications. But here is our application. and it was connected via MCP. And we can see this is actually super cool because we have some things that did not pass. We also have some things that did pass. So what we can do is we can expand this down and we can see the homepage masonry feed loads with initial post, pass, infinite scrolling, pass, and so on and so forth. But then we can come down here and we can see that the responsive layout adjust column to count on mobile screens, and that failed. So that's something that we would want to look into and see if we can adjust. We can even copy and paste this error right into the agent and try to get it working. One other thing I want to show you here that's super cool is if we click into any one of these, we can actually see a screen recording of exactly what happened. I can go ahead and play this, and here we go. It just loaded up the application. It confirmed that the masonry grid was good, ready to go. So everything looks good. So this, is somewhat helpful, but on one that failed, this is where it can be really, really helpful. So we can come down to one of these. We can say like form validation prevents submission without image URL. And that failed. And that's something that I wouldn't have thought of, but we don't want to allow people to submit something that doesn't have a valid image URL. That makes total sense. We want to protect our application so that only images are updated. So let's go ahead and click into this and see what happens here. And look at this, it's actually using our application, it's testing, and this is why it failed. It doesn't have the correct validation for this form when creating a pin on our Pinterest board. So again, I might have shipped this and never even thought of that, and then there would be a major security risk with the application. So this is super, super cool. I would highly recommend you check out Antigravity. If you've used Cursor, it's definitely a fresh take, a new look on things. And if you're using either Cursor or Antigravity, definitely install the TestSprite MCP into Cursor or Antigravity so you can test your application and be confident with what you're shipping. Again, I will put some instructions on how to install the TestSprite MCP in Antigravity because there's just a couple small steps, but it takes less than just 2 minutes. And if you have any questions about how to do that, drop them in the comments below. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions at all, please drop them in the comments below. Like this video if it helped you, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any other videos like this one.